I've been making my own Mario Maker fan game called Super Smashy Maker for the past couple of months. Our ultimate goal is to create a potential fulfilling Mario Maker game using feedback and suggestions from you guys. In this video, I'll show you some things I've been working on since the last video in the series. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you end up enjoying the video, and keep in mind that everything you see is still early into development and can change at any point. Let's take a look. Since last month was Spooktober, I decided to add some more spooky enemies to Super Smashy Maker. Last time I already added quite a bunch, like the Eeries, the Balloon Boo, and even Behemoth, which were all Boo variants. This time though, I tried finding some other unique enemies to recreate and started off with the Goomba variant called the Splunkin. This enemy originates from New Super Mario Bros. DS and can be found in multiple scary levels. What makes him unique is that he needs 2 hits to die, and if he has been hit once, he starts walking way faster and changes color. After the second hit, the Splunkin dies and a pumpkin explosion occurs. Next to that, I added a Bone Goomba, which is simply a reskin of a normal Goomba. This gives the builder of the stage more options to diversify his level and possibly build it around a specific theme. I also quickly added the Goombrat, which turns near edges unlike the normal Goomba. Another well-known spooky enemy is the Bruiser. They first appeared in NSMBDS and charge at Mario whenever he gets too close, destroying everything in his path. To recreate him though, I looked at his behavior in NSMBU. There he wanders around and from time to time stops and looks around. He also turns around periodically, so he doesn't always walk in the same direction. In Smashy Maker, the Bruiser starts attacking when Mario is within a 10 block radius. When Mario isn't in range, the Bruiser will sometimes look around and sometimes turn around as well. I also recreated the fact that if Mario jumps over the Bruiser and he needs to change direction, he kinda slides in the other direction for a second, which makes him look more authentic, of course. Another important feature of the Bruiser is his ability to destroy blocks when he is attacking. I quickly added that functionality, but then realized something was a bit off. The destroying part was working, but whenever he hits a block, he loses some speed, which I didn't initially add. I quickly solved that too, which made it look way better. This enemy also needs 3 hits to die, making it way more difficult to eliminate than your regular enemy. Another enemy from NSMBU which has unique behavior is the Scaredy Rat. These guys are cool because you mostly encounter these enemies in groups. Whenever there is only one, nothing special happens when he gets stomped. However, groups existing out of at least 2 rats behave differently. If one of the rats is hit, the others will start running away from Mario as if they're scared. I made it so that the builder can place down a group from 1 up to 5 rats. Before we move on with more enemies, I wanted to quickly showcase a spooky themed door, the Fake Door. The Fake Door looks exactly like your usual green door, but when Mario tries to enter it, it disappears and 4 Boos pop up laughing at Mario. This is a great course part to use in Ghost House levels, but it will most likely be used more in troll scenarios. A similar themed course part are Haunted Blocks. These question mark blocks seem to be innocent at first, but when Mario gets too close, the block starts floating in the air and eventually gets flung at him. For Smashy Maker, I added these as well, so when Mario gets too close, the sprite of the block will start spinning and rotating around the Z-axis as well. This gives it that 3-dimensional feel. Depending on RNG, the block spins left or right, and the same can be set for the initial move point, so the block can either start moving left or right. After a short while, the block starts spinning way faster, announcing that it's attacking soon. Then the block gets flung towards Mario, which can of course hurt him. It will also be destroyed when hitting a surface. Koopas are a big part of Mario games, so I recreated them as well. The green one of course falls off the edge, while the red one is big brain and turns around. Another famous Koopa variation which is dead is the Dry Bones. This guy of course comes back to life when jumped on. I also added the Bony Beetle which walks around and attacks with the spikes periodically. Whenever he does that, he cannot be jumped on and Mario will take damage. If you jump on them without their spikes, they turn into a pile of bones for a brief moment, after which they come back to life again. These guys also turn when nearing a pit. A combination between a Koopa and a Bony Beetle, that would be cool, wouldn't it? Well, I made one called the Blue Spiny Koopa. Similar to the Red Koopa and Bony Beetle, he turns around near edges and pulls out spikes from his shell too, which damages Mario. Whenever you jump on him without the spikes, he enters his blue spiny shell. This one can be kicked, but will damage Mario when kicked from the top, similar to a normal spiny shell. What are your thoughts on this guy? For more variation and options when building a stage, I added empty shells to the game as well. This will eliminate those awkward moments where you need to build a contraption to empty a Koopa shell to give it to the player. Don't forget to consider subscribing if you haven't yet, since only 18% of people who watch my videos are subscribed. Thanks. Recently I also made the first big boss enemy for Smashy Maker, being a recreation of the Monty Mole tank from NSMBDS. The Monty tank starts off with one layer where the mole throws bob-bombs at Mario while the tank shoots bullet bills. If he gets hit, an attack phase starts where the tank spins around and shoots even more bullet bills. After that phase, the second layer pops out, increasing the difficulty, and this continues to 3 layers. If the mole gets hit then, he is eliminated and the tank blows up. I made an entire video on building this boss, so make sure to check it out as well. The link is in the description. I was playing NSMB2 the other day and reached World 6-2, where Mario needs to traverse lava by using this bone raft. I found it a pretty cool course part, so I decided to recreate it. I got some very accurate sprites for it too. When Mario jumps on the raft, its eyes light up and it starts moving. I made it so the builder can set the endpoint towards which the raft needs to move. While moving, the parts of the raft, being the head, body and tail, move up and down. Depending on a bit of RNG, the speed of that up and down movement changes between two values every time, as well as the initial movement direction. That means the body, for example, can either move up or down once Mario steps on the raft. Whenever the endpoint has been reached, the eyes get put out and the parts move back to their initial start positions. After that, the raft cannot be used again. Of course, it's also possible to move from right to left, as you can see here. I haven't added any liquids to the game yet, but this course part could be very cool in lava or poison themed stages. Next, I got requested to add blinking blocks to the game, which at first I didn't really want to add since it's kinda unique to the 3D World style, but I got bored and added it anyway. Adding these blocks wasn't very difficult at all, and they work as you would expect. In the last video I added the Clampy, but the sprites weren't ideal, so I replaced them with these. Now they look way better. Next to that, I even added a cool reskin of this enemy. Some of my Discord members and I were chatting about adding the Mad Piano from Mario 64 to the game, but we couldn't find a good use for it in 2D. Then a Skywalker came up with a brilliant idea to make him a reskin of the Clampy, but then for non-underwater stages. They behave fully the same, but look way more spooky. They can also hide some cool power-ups inside of them. Just watch out you don't get eaten. Since the last video, my co-programmer Tomatek also made some very good changes to the movement. In fact, he analyzed Mario Maker 2 frame by frame to get the physics as perfect as he could for now. Let's take a look at it. As you can tell, there are some minor details that can still be improved, but it actually feels and looks very accurate to Mario Maker 2's physics already, which is ultimately the goal. Up until now in Smashing Maker, when Mario grabbed a power-up, he would instantly grow, but that's not how it's supposed to be. Tomatek also added power-up animations which are very similar to those from Mario Maker 2. This gives grabbing a power-up a more authentic feeling as well. Alright, that's it for today's video. If you want to see updates on the game more frequently, or help out with making sound effects and music, feel free to join my Discord server, which is linked in the description. Feel free to drop your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below as well. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.